Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for being here today. Can everyone hear me back there? I'm going to spend my 10 minutes telling you a little bit about what's really going on in the District Attorney's Office, and I'll reserve any questions you have about the things James claims later on for your question and answer time. I want you to know that I am very, very proud and honored to stand here before all of you as your first female and first Republican District Attorney in Nueces County, Texas. It was an honor. To be appointed, and that honor I know I owe to God and of course to Governor Rick Perry for choosing me. There were several candidates that interviewed for this position, and me, a little girl from Corpus Christi, Texas, actually got to go to the state capitol to interview for such an awesome position. And that was by the grace of God that I was able to do something like that, and by the grace of God that I was given this opportunity. I want to thank a lot of the people that made this possible, and there are many people here in this room today, either through prayer, through support, through friendship, and through that dedication to the same cause that we have when we work to better our community. I've had many, many supportive people who have come through my life, and I thank you for being here with me tonight. You all know who you are. And to my husband, thanks for bearing with me. I know that this has been a hard, hard thing for us to go through as a family. And I appreciate it, and I love you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you about where I've come from, and where I've been, and what I'm doing for this community. I am the youngest of 9 children. We grew up here in Corpus Christi. My mom had an 8th grade education. But you know what? She had that entrepreneurial spirit, and she cleaned houses, and she saved part of my dad's check from the fire department where he worked really hard, and she bought a business, a store, on the north side of Corpus Christi. And in that business, she worked very hard to support 9 children. And my father, who was the captain of the fire department, would work 24-hour shifts, and he would come home at 8 o'clock in the morning from his shift. He'd change clothes and he'd go straight to the store and work on his feet all day until 8 o'clock at night to support 9 children, because it was important to them that they do what they needed to do to feed their children rather than depending on anyone else to do it for them. I come from a very conservative background. I come from a background that is Catholic and devout Catholic. We believe in life. We were taught to respect life. We were taught to respect each other. We were taught to work hard. And we were taught to serve our community. In the District Attorney's Office, we have a big duty, a big responsibility to this community. And what I have done in the District Attorney's Office, with the help of everybody there, is to do what's desperately been needed. Before I worked at the District Attorney's Office, I was an attorney here in Corpus Christi. I worked with the District Attorney's Office in many, many criminal cases. I did criminal cases. I tried every kind of case. I did family law cases. I was in this courthouse every single day. So I knew what went on at the District Attorney's Office. And when I actually had the opportunity to go and work there and be a child abuse prosecutor, I really knew what went on there. And that was the moment that I found that God put in my path to do what it was that I had always been looking to do. To serve, to give some victim a voice. A voice that could be heard among 12 jurors who would listen to their pain, listen to their struggles, and do what needed to be done to give them some justice. The District Attorney's Office for many years had pretty low morale. Some people gave up and they quit working there because the pay wasn't good, and they went on to do better things instead of doing something internally in the office to make it better. But I didn't, because I believed in what we were doing in that office for this community. So what I did was try to make the best of it. I tried to help teach people. And in my tenure at the District Attorney's Office, every single trial I had, I made sure that I had a junior prosecutor sitting with me so they could learn, because that was going to be the only training they would ever receive. And so every single trial, there was a junior prosecutor right next to me, learning how to submit evidence, learning how to do what needed to be done to be good protectors of this community. I also did, through my tenure as a child abuse prosecutor, teaching outside of the office because I was called upon for the work that I did in the office by law enforcement, by Corpus Christi Police Department, to teach their cadets and their seasoned officers how to gather better evidence, how to do better report writing so that they would be more effective in the courtroom. And then the outside community started asking me to teach their officers. And counselors called me and asked me to teach their counselors how to be better witnesses in court. And I did that because they knew my work ethic. They knew my drive, they knew my desire, and that was to be a public servant for this community, my home, the community where I grew up. I've had the opportunity now to be the district attorney for 2 months, and I made some changes immediately because I knew those changes needed to be made. And I needed to make those changes because we were so backlogged on cases. So many people in this community were not getting justice. There are even members of this executive committee who had family members who were not getting justice because cases had been sitting and sitting and sitting. So I revamped the office. And I have to tell you that I did the numbers today so that I could tell you a little report card about what has really been going on in the DA's office. From January 1st to March 1st, in a 2-month period, under the previous administration, we went through and processed. That means we actually got files from the police department, put them through the system so they could be assigned to a court. 1,128 cases in that 2-month period under the previous administration. My administration started on March 18th, and we didn't hit the ground running until the 1st of April, even though we were working diligently. But to date, we have processed through that misdemeanor section 2,221 cases. We have doubled the production in the office because we have people that want to work now, not people who are complacent, not people who are thinking of themselves and what they're going to do next, but people who want to work. We have some young attorneys that actually walk around the office smiling. It's something I hadn't ever experienced in the DA's office, unless people were just laughing in the hall about something totally different. We have a new atmosphere at the district attorney's office. We processed 432 felony cases in the 2 months of my administration. Under the previous administration, it was 207 felony cases. We disposed of 436 cases in a 2-month period. I want you to know that I have been a working district attorney. I have the experience, I have the electability to do what I need to do for this party. And I want the other candidates to know that whether or not I am selected to be on this ballot today, I will be behind you 100%. And I am sorry that because of this particular race, you've been subjected to negativity within our own party, because I know that you've worked hard to create unity. And I encourage you to keep it up, because we'll get there. All of us will get there together. This negativity does not belong in the Republican Party. That's not why I'm a Republican. That's not why you guys are Republicans. And I support you, and I will work and campaign hard to be sure that I do what you need me to do as your elected official. Thank you very much for your attention.